talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she need down the ride, oh, I bet that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? Yes, let's talk. Let's talk. Vincento. You wanted to be famous. Leave a comment down there and then I'll respond to you and you can see what your prize is. Anyway, we're going to talk about the clerks. I know people were a little upset about my comment about the clerks playing basketball. So I had to speak to, a clerk that works in my family, and they were like, yeah, it be like that sometimes. I said, was my comment offensive? They were like, no, it was pretty funny. And, this is where I throw my little humor into everything. But this upcoming clip that you're about to see is not funny. The assault, it was terrifying. It was damaging. It was so damaging, the guy must have had a broken wrist or something. It was, please, parents, children, beware of what you're about to witness.
Your treatment of these people is discriminatory.
A chaotic confrontation at a Little Havana post office that happened over the weekend, and the victim caught on video. Police say a U.S. postal worker has been charged with robbery after being arrested for the encounter on Saturday.
NBC6's Chris Hush is in Little Havana. Chris, the victim says that he was injured. Tell us more exactly how that happened.
Right, so that victim's name is Miguel Bravo. He tells me that on Saturday he came here to this post office. He was waiting in line when he heard one of the workers here make racist and derogatory remarks against another customer. That's when he confronted this postal worker. He took out his phone and started recording.
We're going to file a formal complaint.
I don't care what you do, sir. Okay. I don't give a
okay.
Now take that to the news. I don't care.
39-year-old Chantel Ford got her wish. You can see her smacking the phone from Bravo's hand after the heated encounter. Bravo then alleges that she took his phone to the back and tried to break it. Police were called and ultimately ended up arresting Ford for robbery by sudden snatching. That's the charge that she faces. Bravo claims he asked for a supervisor to complain about the comments she allegedly made to the previous customer, but kept him waiting for several minutes until she grabbed his cell phone, as you saw there. He's now wearing a brace on his hand because of an injury during the incident, according to the police report. And we did speak with him earlier today about what went down.
The postal worker said to her, English. I don't speak Spanish. If you don't speak English, out of here. And to come to the post office and have to send in a mail and be subjected to hate and discrimination, no one deserves that. And that could very well happen to my mother.
Chris, what's the status of that postal worker, and what is the Postal Service saying about this?
Well, so we did reach out today to the USPS. They deferred any comments, any questions to Miami police, who is not speaking at this time. It is unknown right now. Her employment status is unknown. Again, we did reach out to USPS, but they are not expecting to release any statement to us today. With that said, the suspect did bond out of jail. I went to her home today in Miami Gardens. However, no one came to the door.
Horrified, are you? All right. Two parts to this. I'm not going to make fun of the racist comments. Okay. This is in South Florida, and the area is Little Havana, which is primarily Cubans. Cool. Understood. Apparently there was interaction and the lady could not speak English clearly. The reaction from the clerk, in my opinion, was not justified if that was her reaction now, because there's always three sides to any story. There was her side, his side, and then there's the truth. Nobody will know. So it was said that she said, oh, speak English, or leave. I don't think that's what was said, but I could be wrong. Now, I agree with the speak English part, or I don't understand you part, or wait for a supervisor that can help with the translation. We're in America. We have a melting pot of nationalities, but if you don't speak English, you should go to the post office with somebody that can translate. You can't assume that somebody's gonna understand your dialect. Okay. They said it was an older lady, so I don't think the treatment would have been that good or justified. Nonetheless, you are a clerk, though, where the customer service comes into effect. And they got some ratchet people down in Miami. So again, this is a little melting pot of different opinions here. So do I think it was the clerk's fault? I think it was the clerk's fault for maybe the reaction. There's a lot of things that every person wants to say, we just not supposed to say it in a professional setting. Do you think that she should have, said it differently? Listen, I don't understand Spanish. I can't understand you. You have to wait a few minutes till I get somebody that can probably help you. I think that would have been more appropriate. But under the Christmas line pressure, I could understand somebody snapping. It's number one. Number two, though, was this gentleman that went from behind to pull out the phone. You know, when somebody pulls out a phone on a postal worker, it's very antagonistic because of the pressures that the postal workers go through. And when the customers or the public decides to walk in and say, we're going to expose the post office, and they stand there with a phone, me in my non-postal days would probably just, slap the out of somebody and then just keep it moving. Like, why are you trying to come in here and start trouble? You're looking for attention. This, though, was somebody exercising their rights to pull out the phone and say, hey, let me record this. But he immediately responded with, I'm going to bring this to the news. Problem with that is now you're pushing a button with an already frustrated clerk. Now, not justifying what the clerk did. Oh, and her response to that was like, get the blah, 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 whatever she said. And that just egged the situation on more. Now, I can definitely find out, because I know people at these post offices, what the consequences of the actions were. But she decided to respond the wrong way. But if somebody shoves a phone in my direction, he was entirely too close to her. I mean, you're not supposed to be reaching over the counter. And I don't know if it was Zoom, but if she was in arm's length, you understand what I'm saying? Like, you up in my face with a camera. As a professional, no. As a person, you put your up in my face, I too would have reacted that way. I'd have slapped this out of your hand. So this is so touchy, man. This is such a difficult, thing to dissect. And then I guess she snatched it. That's what it was. She snatched it out of his hand and then took it to the back. They say she tried to break it. Now, I read the article and in a different setting, and she brought it to the back and gave it to another postal worker or the supervisor or something like that. Other supervisor came and brought it back to him. So there was two stories to that. But the charges lady would robbery from snatching and then put her in jail for the night. And then this guy, old male Karen, he got an arm break. Bro, you're not gonna get a nickel. Just so you know that, you ain't getting a nickel from the post office. Now, you could probably sue her directly. Okay, you got it on video. Do you know how hard it is to find a lawyer that's gonna go up against the post office for your foolishness? Because technically you egged it on, and you're gonna claim assault. They didn't even call it assault. It was robbery. But you're walking around with a brace because your hand was bruised? You a man from a woman snatching it? Come on. You see how the media and social media can make something so small and make it into so big? Because I went on POSTALTimes.com, it was on there. I went and I Googled postal news for today, it was on there. It was on YouTube, says clearly. They just make something so minute into something so big. Just like my video from the other day with, the lady saying that the guy was kicking her packages. Like he was going for the field goal and the guy was scooting it down. Come on, man. Enough's enough. So in closing, I didn't give you any straight answer because I really don't have a straight answer. Jay, the person, not the postal worker, yeah, I would have probably, slapped that right out of his hand. Jay, the postal worker, you have to look at things from a different perspective. You have to be a little more professional. I would have just walked away. Honestly, I'd have been like, nah, you ain't gonna take my job. I tell people all the time, I need this job. Nope. You record all you want, I'm out of here. I'd have went right to the back and let them talk to themselves. Everybody handles things differently. What would you do in that situation? I know the clerk's gonna jump on here and just start. You gonna deal with customers, man. Them customers will egg you on. I know, I'm telling you, I got family that is clerks. I know how bad a customer is. Everybody feels entitled. Karen, male Karen there, or female Karen or whatever he is, egged her on. You can't be antagonistic to somebody and don't expect a consequence, but again, as a professional at the post office, yeah, you gotta, oh man, this is a rough one. Y'all give your opinions below. Don't argue with each other. I see people be arguing. If I see too many arguments, I delete comments, just so you know that. We're trying to keep this as neutral as possible. We all got one goal, and that's to make some money. We all can agree to disagree, but don't be cursing people out. When I see, and this thing will flag you, just so you know that. It automatically flags you. I got to go and find the flag comments. So please, be as humane as possible. Have a discussion. Tell me what you would have done different, or if you would have done it the same, or you probably would have did worse. All right, it's JH. Y'all have yourself a good rest of your holiday. You zimmy?
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.